Hey everyone, Jeannie Robertson here. If you haven't been here before, I am an artist and I do a lot of different things on this channel. I kind of think of it as a variety show. I look into hair care and fashion and makeup and different kinds of things like that, and I'm glad you're here today. But today I want to talk about solar because we had a blackout. And I'm going to tell you the story. So we had this huge storm here, and it was like, it was huge. I don't really know if there were any tornado warnings or anything like that because I don't really ever worry about stuff like that, so I don't look it up. And I usually have somebody call me about that anyway. They go, "Oh, Jeannie, there's a tornado warning." But I don't know what I would do in that case. I'd probably jump in the closet under the stairs or something. I really don't know. But I do know what to do if there's a power outage. Okay, because we had one. I had made cinnamon rolls, and because this big storm outside, it seemed like that's the thing to do, is to make myself some personal cinnamon rolls. And if I don't eat them all up, I'll give them to my neighbors. It was a very small batch though. I've learned how to cook, like by the meal. So in other words, I can make 3 or 4 big cinnamon rolls and I'm fine, or 8 little tiny things, So what I did was I made these cinnamon rolls. I'd used not a yeast dough, but a biscuit dough. So I made my biscuit dough, and then I rolled it out flat, and then I put lots of butter on top, lots. And then I do stevia for sweetening. And then I do cinnamon, cardamom, and then I do like some kind of dried fruit and pecans, okay? Now, it's so good. So then you roll them up, pinch it together, and then I just sliced it up like that. Okay, now buttered up one of those square baking dishes, and I put them in there, and because it's a personal amount, it didn't fill that baking dish up. But I put them real close together so that when they cook, they'll, all be fused together, which makes them a lot softer. If you separate them, they come out a lot more crunchy on the outsides. So, well, I had my oven all preheated. The storm was going, and I thought, oh, I can just smell those things now. Well, as soon as I closed that oven door on those things, the power just went out, and it was pitch black. And I looked out the front door, and the whole city was just pitch black. It's very strange. And I thought, well, it'll probably come straight back on, but it didn't. So I went upstairs, and I got my trusty Luci Lites. Now these are solar. They sit in my window. Those are the solar panels right there, those little black squares. And I sit them in my southern windows, just like that. And so they're always ready to go. Let's see, if I turn this on, it's gonna be crazy, but see how this is a very dim light, but you can make it very strong. So all you have to do is just maneuver these little buttons down here, and it can see how much brighter it's getting. And it'll also do a flash like this. See, so that would be something you might want to use in an emergency or something. These things are fantastic. They're 20 bucks. Okay, this is an off-brand, but it's the same thing. This is the Luci Lite. So Luci Lite is what you want to look up on Amazon. Excuse me. The other thing I have is this EcoFlow. It's called EcoFlow 600, and it is a solar power bank. And I had this, I plugged it in and filled up the bank when I first got it, and then I haven't used it. So, but it held the power totally. And so when I brought it down, because I had the idea I could cook my cinnamon rolls with this, because of course my oven was off. So this is what this looks like. And it has a little handle. It's not heavy. And it has the solar panel, right? So you can power this thing up by using your regular wall plug, or you can use your solar, either way. Or I believe you can even, if you're driving, you can load this thing with its power by just plugging this. It has the connection for your cigarette lighter. I think that's called DC or something. Anyway, I don't know that stuff. But I do know that I brought this thing down because I had my Luci Lites. I had no problem seeing anything. No candles, no nothing. All you need are these little things. And I put that power bank on my kitchen table. Excuse me. I had bought some little cookers, and I had researched exactly what size cookers I could use with this solar panel. In other words, you can't put a big electric skillet or a toaster or something like that in this size. And you can get them real big, and you can run your refrigerator and all kinds of things. This is just for phone, computer, a fan to circulate the air, let's see, lights of any kind. You can run an electric blanket if it's cold. This is just all I needed, and so that's what I bought. But anyway, so I got one of my cookers out that I had researched that will work perfectly with this. I plugged it in, and I noticed it was getting really hot, and that's great. It was getting warm, you know. So I took my cinnamon rolls out of the oven, and I placed them in the cooker in a little round, you know, one just like that. And then I put some parchment paper on top of those, and I set the other ones on top of that. I put the lid on, and I mean, they cooked beautifully. Now, I could have put a roast in there. I could have warmed up a can of soup. You can just do anything you're creative enough to think about. And so I don't worry about, you know, having something to cook on in the case of a long-term blackout. I would have, and you, like I said, I wouldn't be cold. I would have a fan to at least keep me sort of cool. So anyway, did I show you this? This is the solar panel that comes with it. So that's EcoFlow 600 is what I have. But they make all kinds, and I think it's a great company. That thing is high quality. It just served me so well. So that's actually all I wanted to tell you in this video, is that if you're a senior and you want some confidence in your bank, you know, in your brain bank, then think about looking into some kind of solar, especially these little lights, because this is affordable by everyone. And it's such, I mean, it's a no-brainer. This thing gives you so much light. It's so comfortable. They don't heat up. They don't, it's not a candle. And it works forever. Then in the next morning when the light comes up, put them back in the windows, and then you have them again for the next night in case your power goes out for a whole day and a night, something like that. So that is my little story I wanted to tell you. So that's the end of this video, and I wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day, and come back and see me for my next video. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.